Hey guys, it's Coach Travis Robertson, and welcome to today's show. We're going to have some fun today. So excited you guys are here with me, and we've got a lot of ground we're going to cover. And the topic that I want to talk with you about today is 7 lies that are keeping agents in hell. And that might sound like hyperbole. It might sound like it's something that is, not hell. I mean, for crying out loud, it's an extreme term. But the reality is with what we do and the people we talk to every day, what's interesting is that we see these lies that they're telling themselves that are keeping them broke, that are keeping them, from growing, that are keeping them victims in their life, in their business, that are keeping them depressed, that are really truly destroying them from the inside out. And they're buying into these things and they're living their lives according to these lies. And then they're wondering why things are falling apart, why things are struggling. And so I wanted to do this session where I would break down all of these different lies. I would break down all of these lies that are causing them to head towards divorce, that are causing them, no joke, to turn to alcohol or prescription medications to just kind of numb the pain and help them sleep and deal with things, to that are getting them health issues like depression, and they're getting fat and they're getting overweight and they're not taking care of their bodies. They're getting resentful. They're getting angry. They're burning out. Their relationships are getting destroyed. We see this day in and day out. And I felt it was necessary to come on and to really go through these with you guys, because my hope is that by talking through what these lies actually are and then giving you the truth of what is real, that you can start applying these things into your life. And one of the things I want to do is I want to talk through, before we break down what these actual lies are, I want to kind of walk you through the process, because once you identify a lie, you've got to be able to rip that out and replace it with something that is going to serve you. And so when we break down these lies, I'm going to show you the lie. I'm going to show you how it shows up so you can go, oh yeah, that's one I've been saying. That's one I've been using. That's one I've been buying into. And then I'll give you the truth. I'll give you some ammo that you can start planting new truths that are really, truly going to serve you with where you want to go. So that's going to be the process that we're going to walk through. And I promise you this, if you've been saying any of these things, it is going to make you very, very uncomfortable. And that's a good thing, because I might hit you between the eyes with a couple of these things. And if it stings, if it hurts, just recognize that and go, okay, you know what? There's a better life for me on the other end of this lie. When I get out of this lie, when I stop buying into this thing, that's when my life can really take hold, because you cannot live beyond your lies. You can't live beyond what you believe to be true. So your beliefs set the boundaries of your life. Think about that for a second. If you believe that everybody, red lights don't work and people are going to run stoplights all the time, you literally will freeze every time you get to an intersection. If you believe that, there's no such thing as an honest, lender, or there's no such thing as an honest agent, or there's no such, like, every agent sucks. If you believe that, you're going to buy into that. If you believe that buyers are liars, you're going to treat your buyers as if they're liars, and you're never going to build that rapport. So your beliefs set the boundaries of your life and ultimately determine your success. And so that's why it's so important to understand what these lies are, and then to get them weeded out and plant new truths and new things that are ultimately going to serve you. So what's the first lie that agents are buying into? Well, it's what I call the lie of perfect timing. The lie of perfect timing. And that one shows up in a number of different ways. That one shows up primarily with things that sound like this. Well, once I finish doing XYZ, then I'll get started on growing my business. Or once I get all of my systems in place, then I'll hire an admin. Or there's just so much going on right now, I don't really want to commit to lead generation. I don't want to commit to, training. I don't want to commit to going to that conference. I'm just so busy. And it's not the right time. It's not the right time. And the truth is This is your freaking life. This is your business. If you are overcommitted or feeling overcommitted, the odds are you're overcommitted on stupid crap that is not getting you where you want to go, because you're stuck in a rut. You're stuck in this absolute prison of, oh, I'm so busy. It's not the right time. It's not. I need everything to be perfect. I got to line everything up before I hire an admin. And it's like, the reason you need to hire an admin is because you suck at building systems. The reason you need to invest in training is because you're not doing things to grow your business, to get better at what you're doing, which is keeping you stuck. If you always wait for the perfect time, you will never take action. There is no such thing as perfect timing. Absolutely no such thing. This is just your fear masquerading as sensibility. So when you say that, you're like, well, I'm trying to be sensible. I'm trying to be reasonable here. And so I don't want to overcommit. And so people go, oh, well, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. That's stupid. And that's just your fear masquerading as sensibility. It's just your fear saying that, you know what, I'm just afraid of taking action. And so what I'll do is I'll tell people, though, that it's not the right time. It's not the right time to hire an admin. It's not the right time to go to a conference, that it's not the right time to invest in my business, to invest in growth, to really step into a decision that I know would be better for me long term. It's just scaring me. So I'll tell people it's not the right time. And the truth is, it's exactly because it doesn't feel like it's the right time that you should do it. Because as long as you wait for the right time, you'll never take action. Versus going, you know what? The minute I find myself going, is the timing right? Is the timing right? I'm so busy. I've got all these things going on. You know, I've got my son's going off to college. I've got this happening. I need to get that done first. It's like, wait a minute. This is exactly why you should be doing these things in your business, because when you start investing in your business, when you start committing to new steps, to new directions, all of a sudden you realize all the stupid crap that you've let into your life that is sucking your time dry, that is making you feel like you're out of time, that is making you feel like you don't have the time, that it's not the right timing. That is just fear. And so I want to encourage you. This is something that will always keep you crippled, that will always keep you in hell. If you are waiting for the right timing, you will never find it. You will never find it. And what we always find is that the people who are like, well, once this gets done, then I'll do it. You know what we find is there's always something else. And there's always something else. And they go, you know what? I can't hire the admin yet because I got to get this done. Or I can't change companies yet because now I got to do this. And you know what? I can't activate that lead source yet because, you know I said I had to get this done, but now I got to get this done. And there's always one more thing, because it's never about the timing. It's about the fear masquerading as sensibility. The second lie that agents tell themselves is the lie of client demands. So what I call the lie of client demands. And this one shows up as we always like to joke that agents will skip their mother's funeral for a listing appointment. And it's obviously not true. But there's this idea that the minute a client says jump, agents are like, oh my gosh, I had a client come out of the woodwork. I had a client show up. I can't do that. I can't, I can't show up for that conference. I can't show up for that event. I can't show up for a coaching session. I can't show, whatever it is. It's like somebody called and they said, they asked me to meet at that exact time. What are the odds? And of course I had to say yes. It's like, wait a minute. Your client doesn't dictate your schedule. You do. And this is really, truly one of the most disastrous things you can do is cancel things that are valuable for things that are invaluable. And what I mean by that is not that the listing presentation isn't valuable, not that the client isn't valuable, but that particular meeting at that particular time is not where the value is. You had something there, a dinner with your husband or wife, a dinner with your partner, a dinner with your kids, something, and you're like, you know what, I need to reschedule that. Like, hey, can we do date night another night because I got a listing presentation? Hey, can we reschedule this? I can't come to this event because, a client just all of a sudden said they're coming into town and that is the only day they can meet. But here's what's interesting. If you already had a listing presentation at that time, would you cancel that listing presentation for the other one? Well, the obvious answer is no. The obvious answer, well, no, of course not. I mean, I already have a listing presentation. But what it is it's coming from a space of desperation. And most sensible people who are in control of their business, you know what they say? Hey, so excited you want to meet. I've already got some appointments at that time. I do, however, have this day and this time. Which one works better for you? I'm already in meetings. I'm already in appointments. I'm sure you can appreciate that. And if a client isn't willing to appreciate that you've already got commitments, are they really the client that you want in your business? Are those the best clients? Are the best clients the ones that are so demanding that they never appreciate your schedule? Or are they the ones that go, oh my gosh, of course, yeah, we can make that work. We can adjust. I know it's short notice. I know we just said we're coming into town this weekend, but we can do that time. We'll make that work. Because if it matters to them, they'll make it work. But if it doesn't matter to them, you're going to be living out of desperation because you have no control over your business. The way you counteract this is you begin to prioritize the right things. I've already made a commitment. I need to prioritize that. And then what you do is you get control over your lead flow and control over your growth. Because if you have clients, a steady stream of clients, what they will do is they will say, you know what, he's the one I want. She's the one I want. And they're so in demand. Obviously, he's already got appointments. Obviously, she's already got appointments. And so we will flex for them. And if they don't, no big deal, because you got 10 more after them that will be willing to work the way you want to work. But it's coming out of sheer desperation. And here's what's really interesting. You know what we found about those appointments when agents drop everything for a showing, or for agents or clients that come in out of town? You know what we find to be true from those? They're usually tire kickers. They're usually a waste of time. They're usually already working with another agent. There's always, and they go, this was such a waste of time. I can't believe I did this again. And then they go out and they do it again. We see it over and over and over again. This is a straight up lie. The truth is you're saying it because you're not in control of your business. The truth is you're saying it because you're operating out of desperation. The truth is that they will flex to you. And if they don't, they are not the right client from you. And when you can operate out of that space of certainty and out of that space of confidence, they want you to be their agent. But if they call you on a Friday and they're like, hey, can you show me homes tomorrow at 10 a.m.? You know what they're thinking when you say, absolutely, that I've got nothing else going on. I was waiting around for somebody to call me because I have nothing happening, versus going, you know what? I've already got an appointment at 10. I can do 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Which one works better for you? See, that lets them know that I'm not sitting around waiting for you. I'm making it happen. Now, maybe your 10 a.m. is that you just want to have some alone time. Maybe your 10 a.m. is you got to work on your business. Maybe that 10 a.m. is you want to watch some training videos. Maybe that 10 a.m. is you want to read a book, or you want to spend the time with your kids, or you want to go to the park. I don't care. But don't be so desperate for the business that you will sacrifice what really matters for the hope of getting a deal, because it will always come back to bite you. And they're almost never the right clients. Number 3, it's what I call the lie. I keep wanting to say law. It's the lie of time constraints. The lie of time constraints. This is similar to the other one, but it's a little bit different. It's not quite, sometimes it shows up as clients, but this shows up more as, you know what? I don't have time to work on my business. I don't have time to read. I don't have time for personal growth. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time for really focusing on my business because I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. And so they're always constrained by time. And they like, I'm up, I'm working from 5 a.m. to midnight, and then I do it all over again. I'm working 7 days a week, working 24 hours a day. I mean, I don't take vacations without working. And it's just, I don't have time. And the truth is that we all have 168 hours in a week. We all have 168 hours in a week. You don't have any less than I do. You don't have any more than I do. And the truth of the matter is you don't have time not to do the things that matter for your business. You don't have time not to go to the gym. You don't have time not to invest in your lead generation. You don't have time not to do these things, because at some point, what you will discover is that life moves faster the older we get. And time is the most limited resource we have. And it's not that you don't have it, it's that you're misusing it. That you're abusing it. It's that you're focusing on busyness rather than effectiveness. See, nobody ever has time for the gym until they have a heart attack. Nobody ever has time for their kids until their kids get into trouble. Nobody ever has time for their spouse or their partner until they're headed for divorce or breakup. Nobody ever has time for working on their business until they're burning out or washing out. See, time is a choice. How you use it is a choice. You get 168 hours. And I would imagine that if I followed you through your day, I would find ways in which you're wasting it. It doesn't feel like you're wasting it because you're busy, but you're not effective. And when you misprioritize what really matters in your life, when you misprioritize what really matters in your business, you can be exhausted. You can be busy. You can make a lot of money. But what ends up happening is you're running a flat tire because somewhere else something is falling apart, because all of your time is going into one thing and everything else is suffering. And the truth is, you don't have time to not figure this out, because you're going to all of a sudden blink. And in 3 years, 5 years, you're going to wake up and you're going to wonder, where did it all go? You know, have you ever looked back on a decade of your life? Maybe you've hit your 30s and you're looking back on your 20s going, what the hell did I do for the last 10 years? Like, what did I really accomplish? Or maybe you hit 40 and you're looking back at your 30s going, what did I do? Like, where did that 10 years really go? And is that what I want the next 10 years to look like? Decades fly by. The days are long, the years are short, guys. And so, yes, it feels like you don't have time, but that is exactly why you've got to get control over it. Because the fact that you think you don't have time is exactly why you need help getting priorities straight, why you need to get way better at managing your activities in the time that you have. We all have 168 hours. And what separates the people who are successful from the people who are burning out, who are having their life end up like a train wreck, is simply one thing and one thing only. They've figured out how to prioritize their activities in that same 168 hours. They've gotten better at managing their activities. And so if you're feeling like, I don't have the time to read, I don't have the time to go to the gym, I don't have the time to do all of these things, and I don't have the time to invest into training, I don't have the time to focus on my business, I don't have the time to hire, I don't have the time to train, you just need help. And it's all BS, because you do have the time. You just have been so wildly unfocused and so wildly misprioritizing that you're losing the opportunity to really win. So don't let the lie of time constraints keep you in hell. Lie number four is what I call the lie of slow decisions. The lie of slow decisions. And this is not everybody. So this is for the analyticals on the line. So those of you that are listening, those of you that are watching, and you're the analyticals, you're the ones who, this is how it shows up. I never make decisions quickly. I always sleep on big decisions. Or I like to have all the information before I make a decision. Or this one, I like to put things in a spreadsheet and know all of my options first. And on the surface, it sounds reasonable. On the surface, it sounds sensible. And there are times, no doubt, where that has served you. And you have that trait because it served you at times. Here's the problem with that. You are not making decisions that are set in stone. You are not making decisions that are life or death and you get one shot at it. And if you blow it, somebody dies. You're not making decisions where it's like, okay, do I This is brain surgery, and I've got one shot at this. I can choose. I either got to go to the left frontal lobe or the right frontal lobe. And if I make the wrong decision, they're just going to be like, for the rest of their life. Like, that is not what you're dealing with. And what happens is this is a way fear masquerades again as sensibility. And while it has served you, it will not continue to serve you in this industry moving forward. Here's why. And I want you guys to answer. Those of you watching, I want you to do this. Punch into the comments. Is this industry moving faster or evolving faster or slower? Is it evolving at a faster rate or a slower rate? Faster rate or slower rate? Type it into the comments. Which is it? And while you do that, I'm going to get a sip of water. Is the industry evolving faster or slower? Faster, right? It's moving so much faster. I'm seeing faster start to roll in. It's moving faster. It's evolving at a faster rate. Things are changing day in and day out. And what we know to be true is this, that the single most important trait of leaders, the single most important trait of business owners in today's economy, in today's world. In fact, there are studies, Harvard did a study on this, and they found that the single most important trait of leaders, of business owners, of which all of you are, is decisiveness. It's not charisma. It's not communication. It's not empathy. It's not anything other than decisiveness. And decisiveness is the ability to make decisions quickly with the facts at hand. Because this world, the rate at which we're moving, penalizes indecisiveness and procrastination. And please write that down. It penalizes indecisiveness and procrastination. And so while you may think that you've saved yourself with your spreadsheets, what I can tell you is you've lost more in opportunity than you've ever gained in protection. And that is only going to accelerate as we move forward. In fact, I was talking with a gentleman, and he is the CEO of a data analytics company. In fact, they have the largest data analytics or database of, what did he call it? It's like performance analytics or personality and performance analytics. He's got the largest database of it in the world. They've been doing this for like 60 years, and they've tested millions of people, and they've watched performance, and they've analyzed results, and they've looked at every 40 under 40 list, and they've tested those people. And what they have found, and he goes, do you want to know? Because I asked him, I said, what is the number one thing that, like, what's the one thing that surprised you most from what you found in the people in the 40 under 40 list, or those really successful people? So what's that one trait that matters more than anything else? And he goes, decisiveness. Far and away the number one trait, more than anything else in today's world. He goes, it's like decisiveness, and then everything else is down below here. He goes, that is the one trait that all of them have. And I said, why do you think it is? And he goes, because in today's world, we have so much data, we have so much analytics, we have so much ability to change direction, that the ones who win were in the 80s and the 70s. It was communication, it was charisma, it was personality. He goes, it's out the window. He goes, people want decisive leaders because they understand that this world is moving so fast that if my leader gets stuck in indecision, we're screwed. And this industry will run us over. Our competitors will pass us by, and we will get left behind, because while we're stuck in analysis paralysis and spreadsheet hell, other people are going, you know what, let's make a decision go, and we can always change it later. We can always make a new decision. We can always adjust, and we're going to iterate. And we're going to do this as an iteration process, not as we make one decision and it's set in stone for the rest of our lives and we can never make another decision. Indecisiveness will kill you. Indecisiveness will kill you. And you get a choice as a leader. You are either exercising the muscle of decisiveness or the muscle of procrastination, and you get to pick. You get to pick. But in an industry like real estate that is evolving at a rapid rate, the spreadsheet jockeys are going to get slaughtered. And it is time for you to stop hiding your fear behind a spreadsheet. And I love you too much to not call you out. Look, there is a time and a place for analytics. There's a time and a place. Like when you're doing your bookkeeping at the end of the year and you're paying your taxes, get really analytical. Don't screw that up. But realize that every other decision you're making in your business, as leaders, we have to make hundreds, if not thousands of decisions every year. And if every one of those decisions paralyzes you, you're not ready for what this industry is going to be bringing. You're not ready for where this world is going to be headed. And it is time for you to step out from behind the spreadsheet and start owning your decisiveness, start owning who you are. You've got that ability at your core. You know how to do this. If you had to make a split-second decision about somebody you cared about, you'd do it. You wouldn't be like, hang on, I got to figure out if I'm doing CPR or the Heimlich. Hang tight, sweetheart. I got to spreadsheet this here real quick. What are your symptoms? You're going to be like, you know what? Let's make this happen. I got to save her. I got to save him. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make that happen. You would be decisive because you understand that you don't have time to waste. In this industry, you do not have time to waste. And I see too many people praising themselves on their analytical side. And I get it. There is a time and a place, but the vast majority of the decisions you make, you've got to build that muscle of decisiveness. And that is just the ability to act on the information at hand, knowing that you can always make a new decision, knowing that you can always change course, knowing that nothing you do is set in stone. That is one of the most important skills you can build more than anything else. In fact, the people who win in our program more than anything else, number one trait, decisiveness. That's it. They're committed, they're decisive, they know exactly what they want, and they're not going to get stuck in analysis paralysis. So, lie number 5 is the lie of missing resources. The lie of missing resources. And here's how this one shows up. This usually shows up with excuses about their finances or their market. That's usually where we see this one. So they'll say things like, well, I don't have the money to invest in lead generation. I don't have, my market doesn't work that way. My market's too small. I don't have the network of resources that other people, I just don't have a big network. I don't have, I'm not that way. I'm not that type of person. And they'll find reasons why they can't make it happen because of something they lack. Whether that's money, whether that's a market that they think will support it, whether that's, I don't have a team. I don't have an admin. And it's like, okay, fine. So don't a lot of other people, but they find a way to make it work. They get resourceful because it is never about resources. It's always about resourcefulness. And you run a business. If you try and do everything I love this. I'll never invest more than $25 on a CRM. Oh, well, what if a better CRM actually helped you make hundreds of thousands of dollars? Would you do it then? They want to do everything for the free, everything on the cheap, everything I can get everything I want in YouTube videos. No, you can't, because you've been watching plenty of those and you're still broke. You've been watching plenty of those and you're still stuck. At some point, this takes an investment into your business. You've got to put your money where your mouth is. You can't build a high performance race car on Pep Boys Auto Parts. It ain't going to work. You've got to start investing into your business. And I love when people say, well, my market's too small. Tell that to John Poltrock, one of our members who does hundreds of homes in his market and owns 25% of the market and is making a lot of money. You can go back and watch the interview. Go to our Facebook group, search John Poltrock, and you're going to find his interview. That dude's in a small market in Georgia or South Carolina, small market. And you know what he's found a way to do? Capitalize and capture 25% of the market. He has a team. He's got a business. He's crushing it. He's doing the work and he's not making excuses. Instead, he basically looked at it and said, okay, successful agents don't complain about the size of their market. Successful agents don't complain about the size of their network. Successful agents don't complain about what they don't have. Successful agents don't complain about investing money into their business. What successful agents do is they say, wait a minute. If that's what I need, I'm smart enough to figure it out. If that's what it's going to take, I'm smart enough to make this happen. If I need money, I'm smart enough to figure out how to get it. I will beg, borrow, steal, do what I need to do. I'll sell crap and I'll make it happen. We know the average person has $10,000 of crap in their garage and in storage that they could sell to turn around and invest back into their business, into marketing, into lead gen, into training, into coaching, whatever it is. They have the money. They're just not getting resourceful. And if you're like, but I don't have that, great. What do you have? See, successful agents understand that it's never about what I don't have. It's about how do I get it? How do I make this work? How do I find a way to get what I need to make this business happen? It's never about resources. It's always about resourcefulness. And that always comes down to commitment. Are you committed, or are you just not really all that interested in making it happen? A lot of people say they want six-pack abs. Very few want a six-pack ab lifestyle. Everybody wants to be successful. Very few people want a successful lifestyle. And they want what comes on the end of success, but they don't want the path leading to it. And so they hide behind what I don't have. Well, I don't know enough people. I'm new to the market. I'm new to the industry. I don't have that. I don't have that. And then I look at guys like Thomas Bills who do 63 transactions their first full year in business, or guys like Kunal Patel do 50 their first full year in business with a full-time job. And you go, wait a minute. They got resourceful. They got creative. They made it happen because they were committed to the goals, committed to the outcomes, and not committed to their excuses. At some point, you have to decide whether I'm more committed to my goals, whether I'm more committed to my outcomes, or if I'm more committed to my excuses and my BS story. Your pick. You can't have both. You get to choose. So what are you going to choose? Number 6 is the lie of hard work. The lie of hard work. So how does this one show up? This one is deceptive. Because we live in a world that talks about hustle, that talks about, all in, you got to hustle harder, hustle longer, hustle deeper, hustle higher, whatever it is. It's like hustle, work harder. And this shows up with statements like this. I just need to double down on what I'm doing. I just need to work harder. All the agents in my office keep telling me I need to do more cold calling. I just need to do more cold. I just need to prospect more. I need to call more FSBOs, more expires. I just need to, it's just, what you need to do on some levels. And you're like, I just need to work more nights and weekends. I just need to be more disciplined. And it always comes down to, I just need to double down on something. I need to do more of what I've been doing. And here's the problem with that. This industry is literally littered with agents who are working hard, and you can see them in your office. We see them every day. They're literally agents who are littering this industry, who are working hard, but what they're doing is hardly working. And we've confused working hard with being successful. There are a lot of people who work far less than you that make far more than you. And they've done it by starting to get really strategic about what they're doing. And, other agents, though, the ones that are working hard, but what they're doing is hardly working, they're burning out. They're fat. They're suffering through failed relationships. They're working 24/7, 365. They haven't taken a vacation without working through the entire thing. They're not fully present for their kids, for their spouse. They're just falling apart. But man, they're working hard. They're just doubling down. And what we found is that working harder on strategies that aren't serving you, working hard on strategies that aren't getting you where you want to go, is like doubling down on stupid. It's just not going to serve you. And if you're looking at it going, well, every agent in my office says I need to cold call more, I need to hit more FSBOs and expireds, and you're looking at that going, that sounds like torture. Why on earth would you double down on that? Well, everybody says I just need to do more open houses. I need to do more door knocking. I need to do more of stuff that I freaking hate. But if that's what it's going to take, I just need to double down on it. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe there's a better way. Have you considered that don't double down on strategies until you're sure that the strategy supports the outcome in life that you want? See, when you start to figure out and you back into it and you go, what is it that I want? And then you back into the goals and the strategies and the tactics that you're going to use to achieve that, then you can double down on it. Look, there are going to be times where you're working nights and weekends. There are going to be times where you're stressing and you're frustrated and you're having the long nights, late nights, but you're doing it so that you don't have to keep doing it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a season, not a lifestyle. For most of the people that tell you to double down, hustle harder, hustle longer, it's their lifestyle. And if you were to see behind the curtain like we do, what you would find out is that what they're hiding behind of this work harder, hustle harder is they don't want to go home. They don't want to be involved in their relationships. They don't want to make it happen. And there's things that they're losing on the other side, but all you see is the hustle. All you see is the hard work, and you think that's what it's going to take. And I can tell you that some of our best clients work far less than you do. It wasn't always that way. Some of them came to us in that mode. But what ended up happening is that we got them out of this lie. We helped them work smarter, more efficiently, more strategically. Yes, there were late nights. Yes, there were long weeks. And sometimes there still are in seasons of transition, seasons of change. But what they then began to be able to do is start to get that time back so they can invest in what really matters. They could take a vacation without working. Imagine that. Some for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. That is available to every single one of you, but you've got to stop doubling down on strategies that aren't serving the outcome. You've got to back into your goals, work from your goals backwards to what is really going to serve you, and then double down. Work hard right now with the end game of not working 24/7, 365. But if you're just doing 24/7, 365 hamster wheel style, it sucks. It sucks. So you really want to make sure that you're working on the right things, and ask yourself, is doubling down on this going to really fix the ultimate problem? Or is it only just going to make me more burned out, more frustrated, more exhausted? You get to pick. You get to pick. Number 7, the lie of knowledge. I almost called this the lie of arrogance, but I'm calling it the lie of knowledge. It is arrogance, by the way, but it's the lie of knowledge. And here's how this shows up. This shows up with statements like this. Well, I already know what to do. I've heard all this before. I've been doing this for 15 years. And you know, or you'll see people in Facebook groups. You'll go to different Facebook groups and they'll be like, somebody will be like, hey, which coach do you recommend? And people will be like, screw coaches. You don't need a coach. I just coach myself. Just make more calls. There, I coached you. And you know, I can hold myself accountable. I can coach myself. And it is truly arrogance. It is truly arrogance. You know, look at the best athletes in the world. Tiger Woods isn't running around going, I can coach myself. Tom Brady's not running, you know, look, you may hate Tom Brady, but he is the GOAT, greatest of all time. And he's not running around going, I don't need a coach. I don't need trainers. I don't need help. I've heard this all before. I know how to throw a football. I've been doing this for 15 years. He doesn't, or 20 years or 30 years. Like, he doesn't say those things. And the truth is that is just arrogance. That is pride. That is ego. And ultimately that is insecurity. You know, people confuse knowledge with wisdom. So you know what to do. Then why the hell aren't you doing it? You know, wisdom is knowledge applied. Wisdom is the ability to take what you know and execute on it. There are a lot of people who are armchair quarterbacks and go, I know how to throw a football. Great. You're not doing it. So what does it matter? You know, I know how to throw a football too, but that doesn't mean I'm Tom. That doesn't mean I'm, you know, for the Rams fans on the line like me, doesn't mean I'm Jared Goff. It doesn't mean I'm, you know, able to play at that level. Knowledge is different than application. And there are a lot of people who know what to do, but they don't do it. And it is truly arrogance. It is truly ego. It is truly fear that does this. See, the honest answer is that we all need training. We all need support. We all need accountability. We all need that person who is not in the weeds with us to see things that we can't see. The best agents in the world, they are either in coaching or high-level mastermind groups, or both. Many of them both, because they understand that I do not know it all. And the more successful they get, the more humble they actually become about what they do or don't know in terms of applying it into their business. And they're always looking for a nugget. They're always looking for something new. But then you get those agents that are like, I don't need to go to this conference. I've already heard it before. And it's like, great. If you've heard it, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And I've talked with people. In fact, I talked with somebody this last week. And basically, you know, he was saying, he goes, look, I've been doing this for 9 years. I was like, okay, great. How many deals did you do last year? He goes, 6. I'm like, okay, 6. So you did 6 deals last year after 9 years. Why? What'd you do the year before? And he goes, 11. I'm like, 11? Like, He's like, I know what to do. I'm like, why aren't you like, then where's the breakdown? Because you only did 6 deals last year and 11 the year before. You've been doing this for 9 years. Are you doing the first year over and over and over again? Like, what's really going on? Because knowing what to do and executing on it and doing it are two very different things. See, people who will run around and talk about everything they know, but then you see behind the curtain of what's really happening, and they're living commission check to commission check. They're burnt. They're the ones that are going on the Facebook forums and saying, you don't need a coach. You just need to double down on stupid. You just need to, and you know, all you need to do, you can find everything you want online for free, and you just get out there and you make more calls and you knock on more doors, and it's just straight up arrogance. Knowledge doesn't make you successful. Execution makes you successful. Accountability makes you successful. Support makes you successful. Training applied makes you successful. Coaching applied makes you successful. That is what we see over and over. Whoops, that was cool. And so the lie of knowledge will literally destroy you because it's really the lie of arrogance. It's really the lie of pride. It's really the lie of ego. And the more success you have, the more you start to realize how little you actually know. And the more humble you become, and the more you start looking for, what's the one nugget I can take from this? You know, I talk with successful agents all the time, millionaire agents, who when they have their annual conferences for their brands coming up, you know, whether that's Coldwell Banker's Gem Blue or Remax's R4 or pick one. And they're always the ones going, I don't expect to learn 10 things there. I'm looking for the one thing that I can apply into my business in the next year that's going to make me an extra $100,000, $200,000. I only need one thing. That's it. And if I invest 3 days to get that, that's totally worth it. 3 days to make an extra $150,000, $200,000. I'll do that all day long. I don't need 10. I just need one. And they're always looking for the nugget. They're always looking for the one thing they can learn. They never believe they know it all. And these are people who've been in the industry for decades. These are the people who are making millions of dollars, who have the right to be able to say, I've heard it all before, but are always looking for the one way to make it better. So don't let that lie of arrogance or pride keep you from getting the support and the help and the accountability that you need. And so these are the 7 lies, guys. These are the things that will absolutely keep you in hell. And if you're buying into any of these, if you've seen them in yourselves, this is what we do. We help you obliterate these things. And whatever the lies are, whatever the problems are, whatever the challenges are, I promise you this, my team and I, we've seen it all. We've been doing this a very long time. And I would encourage you, book a call with my team. Get on the phone for a breakthrough session. This is 60 minutes working on your business, looking at where you are, where you're going, creating a roadmap to get you to where you ultimately want to be far faster than you ever realized. I promise you this, guys, it's going to be the best 60 minutes you've invested in your business so far this year. And you're going to leave with so much clarity, so much understanding about what you're going to be able to do. And look, if we can help you and we believe you're fit for one of our programs, we will absolutely show you what it looks like to work with us. But if not, we'll be the first ones to tell you that too. Look, about 30% of the people we talk to, we never invite into our programs. To my knowledge, we are the only coaching company in the industry to do that. And it's because we're not for everybody. We're for the people that are ready to commit, that are ready to make this a real business, that are ready to play at a high level, like Jay Legase, like, you know, Jason Miller, like John Poltrock, like Sandy McAlpine, people who are coming out and playing at a high level, Julianne Lesniak. I mean, these are the people who are playing at high levels. That's who we're for. And whatever your challenges, whatever your problems, I promise you, we have seen it. We know how to deal with it, and we're going to support you through it. So go to travisrobertson.com/call, book a session with my team, grab a slot. Now they go fast. So get on the phone, block the timeout, make it happen, and understand that if it's filled up and we don't have anything till next week, you waited too long. So be more decisive, take action, make it happen, get it booked, block it out. Show up, and I promise you, we are here to serve you. We are here to help you, and we can help you get to whole new levels in your business, and we would love to show you how. All right, you guys, so these are the 7 lies. Don't believe them anymore. Rip that crap out. Plant amazing truths that are going to serve you, and ask yourself, is what I'm believing here, is what I believe about this serving me or hurting me? And if it's not getting you closer to the goal, rip it out and plant some truths that are going to get you where you want to go. And we can help you do that, guys. So go to travisrobertson.com/call. In the meantime, don't settle for anything less than you're capable of, guys. If you believe in yourself half as much as I believe in you, you have an amazing life, an amazing business ahead of you, and it is an honor to get to serve you here and in any other way we get to. All right. Godspeed, you guys. God bless, and I will see you next week. Take care.